Hey guys, it's Miss Delcambre. Today is October 28th, and here's a rundown of what you missed. So you'll need your journal, pencil, and then the ratio rates questions. It has like alien right next to it. If you click on it, it says alien ratio questions. That's what we're going to be looking at today. And we have our Builder 9. We're going to do a quick question of the day. I'm going to go over our homework. We did breakout rooms, but I'm going to go over the questions on the video. And then you have your review for your test. It is on Friday. So tomorrow we have our review and a Kahoot and a Gim kit. And I will also send those links out. So the would you rather of the day is, would you rather have one Halloween outfit forever? I think forever is supposed to be one word. Oh, well. Or never dress up. Okay, so here we go. All right, real quick on the builder. On the order of operations, I'm going to do the order of operations. So 8 minus 7 is what I'm going to do first because it's in parentheses. So 8 minus 7 gives me 1. So 2 squared plus 1 times 9. So now I'm going to do the exponents. 2 squared is 4. 4 plus 1 times 9. 1 times 9 gives me 9. And 4 plus 9 equals 13. So my answer there would be 13. Okay, let's go to the back. Your 2 questions for Wednesday. Your 2 questions for Wednesday is 16 minus 18 and negative 12 plus 4. Negative 12 plus 4. Now, when we are doing 16 minus 18, remember, we're subtracting more than 16, so it's going to be a negative number. So we would have negative 16 here. Negative 2 here. Okay, if you think of it as subtracting as adding its opposite, so it's the same as 16 plus a negative 18. So we have different signs, so we subtract. And so it would be negative 2 because I have more negative 18 than a positive 16. Then I have negative 12 plus 4. So think about this as on the number line. So I have negative 12. I'm adding 4. So my answer would be a negative 8. Negative 8. Okay, and I'm just going to show you right here. We have negative 12. We add 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we end up at negative 8. Okay. Our homework check. Okay, I'm going to go quickly. I believe we did this yesterday. Now, number 4, the chess club members bought 6 tickets to a tournament for $15. How much would they have to pay if all 9 members went? So here we go. We're looking at our money over our tickets. So it's $15 for 6 tickets. Well, if I half that, I get 3. So for 3 tickets, it's going to be $7.50, and then I can go from 3 to 9 by multiplying by 9. So multiplying by 3. Multiplying by 3. And $7.50 times 3 gives me $22.50. $22.50. All right, the Conn's car averages 22 miles per gallon. How far will it travel on 5 gallons? So if we take 1 and times it by 5, that gives me 5. If I do to the bottom, I must do to the top. So 22 times 5 gives me 110. All right, so number 6, Cafe A offers 2 free bottles of water or juices for every 20 purchases. Cafe B offers 3 free bottles of water or juices for every 25. So what's my ratio? So it would be 2 to 20. You can also simplify it to 1 to 10. We'll look at that in a minute. You can also do 2 to 20 or set it up as a fraction as 2 over 20. All right, Cafe B was 3 to 25 or 3 to 25 or 3 over 25. Now, how many free drinks would we get? So that's where that 1 to 10 came in. So Cafe A, you get 1 free drink for every 10 purchases. So if I have 50, I'd multiply by 5. 1 times 5 gives me 5, so I would get 5 free drinks. So Cafe B here, I get 3 free drinks for every 25. Well, 25 times 2 gives me 50, so I just double it. So if I double 3, I get 6, so I get 6 free drinks there. Okay? So let's go to your alien packet. You have, it's lettered like A, B, C. I think it's A through L. We're going to do a couple of them. So let me zoom out real quick. All right, so we have a group of aliens. They're planning a trip to Earth. For every 5 aliens, they need 7 power pouches in order to meet one day's food need. If there are 40 aliens traveling, how many power pouches will they need for each day of the trip? So if I'm looking and I'm seeing what am I comparing? Well, I'm looking at aliens and I'm looking at power pouches. So I'm going to write that down. So I'm looking at aliens and I'm looking at power pouches. Okay, and I'm just going to start off with a table because the table is kind of easy to see in the long run. So I have 5 aliens and they need 7 power pouches. But there aren't 5 that are going on the trip. There are 40 aliens going on the trip. So that 40 is going to go up here. Okay, because 40 is going to go up here because this is my aliens. Now I've got to figure out how many power pouches. Well, if you look closely, 5 times 8 gives me 40. So if I times this by 8, I times the bottom by 8. And 7 times 8 is 56. So you would need 56 power pouches for 40 aliens. Okay. Do you see how visually I can go from 5 to 40 by multiplying by 8, 7, then I multiply 7 by 8, and I get 56. All right, let's go to the next one. Again, this one's another alien question. The alien's data recorder measures the Earth's weight on a regular intervals. They get 60 readings in 20 minutes. How many readings did they get in 45 minutes? So I'm comparing 2 things again. I'm comparing readings and minutes. So I'm going to write that down. So I'm comparing readings and minutes. Okay. Now, I know that they get 60 readings in 20 minutes. But I've got to figure out what 45 minutes would be. I need to figure out what 45. Okay, so I need to see if I can simplify this to a nice number. So if I divide 20 and 6 both by 10, so let's divide them both by 10. Okay, so now I get 6 over 2. Okay, I still got to get to 45. Oh, but both of these numbers can be divided by 2 again. And I get 3 to 1. So this is what we call our unit rate. Now, if my unit rate's 3 to 1, so my readings per minutes, and I'm going to abbreviate readings in minutes, is a 3 to 1 ratio. I need to get 45 minutes. I would multiply this by 45 because 1 times 45 gives me 45. And I multiply the top by 45. And 3 times 45 gives me 135. So there would be 135 readings. Okay. Let's go to letter C. And this is a horse in a stable and bales of hay. So Chris works at a stable and it's feeding time. If 24 horses eat 40 bales of hay, how many bales of hay would 6 horses eat? So if I'm looking, I'm comparing horses and bales of hay. So I've got to find how many bales will work for 6 horses. So again, I'm going to write this out. I'm going to look at horses because horses came first. So I'm going to put horses on top and bales on the bottom. Okay, so I know my information given was 24 horses eats 40 bales of hay. But I've got to get to 6 horses. Well, if I divide this, I'm sorry, my 6 needs to go up here. So how can I go from 4 to 6, 24 to 6? I can divide by 4. If I divide by 4 to the top, I can divide by 4 to the bottom, and I would get 10. So my answer would be 10 bales of hay for 6 horses. All right, let's look at our next one. This is talking about pillowcase and fabrics. Nina is making pillowcases to donate to a charity. She needs 18 yards of fabric for 16 pillowcases. At a fabric store, gave her extra fabric. How many pillowcases can she make with 45 yards of fabric? So the two things we're comparing is fabric and pillowcases. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and write that down. I know that she has 18 yards of fabric and she gets 16 pillowcases. Okay, but I need to know 45 yards of fabric. Well, if I take this, I can simplify by dividing by 2. So if I divide by 2 here and divide by 2 there, I get 9 over 8. Now, that's a friendly number, and I can turn 9 into 45 by multiplying by 5. So if I multiply by 5 here, multiply by 5 to the bottom, so my answer would be 40. So it would be 40 pillowcases. E, let's look at E. So the Green Souls Nature Club uses liquid fertilizer when planting trees. The garden center gave them 42 gallons, which was enough for 35 trees. How many gallons do they need for the 10 trees they will plant next week? Okay. All right. So I'm comparing some stuff. I'm comparing my fertilizer, which is in gallons, to my trees. Okay. I know that 42 gallons of fertilizer is for 35 trees, and they're going to plant 10 trees, so we need to figure out how much fertilizer they need. So, again, let's set this up. So I'm dealing with fertilizer and trees. So I'm going to put my information. Well, I have 42 gallons of fertilizer for 35 trees, and I've got to get to 10 trees. So let's see. Well, 35, I know I can divide by 5, but I can't divide 42 by 5. But I can 7, so I can divide them both by 7. And I get, if I put 7 there, 5 trees and 6 gallons of fertilizer. So then going from 5 to 10 is a lot easier because I just multiply by 2. And I multiply by 2 here. And 6 times 2 gives me 12. So I would need 12 gallons of fertilizer. Okay. Let's look at our next one. We don't need to because Harold is a question we already did yesterday. So flip it over or turn to your next page. F, G, oh, this is one. That's for my little friends who like Harry Potter. And there is a typo, and we still are discussing which way is correct to spell leech. So the shrinking potion calls for 18 units of leech juice for every 6 daisy roots. Hermione needs to make a shrinking potion for Harry. How many units of leech juice does Hermione need if she wants to use 62 daisy roots? Okay, so we're comparing our leech juice and our daisy roots. Okay, I know for a fact I need 18 leech juices for 6 daisy roots. But what if I have 62 daisy roots? Okay, so let's set it up. I'm over here, and I'm comparing leech juice, so I'm just going to abbreviate, and daisy roots. I know that I have 18 leech juices for 6 daisy roots. Okay, but I got to get to 62. Well, I can simplify by dividing by 6 on both of them and find the unit rate. So here I'm finding the unit rate, which 1 daisy root is 3 leech juices. Now, I can go from 1 to 62 by multiplying by 62. So if I multiply by 62 at the bottom, I must multiply by 62 at the top, and I get 186. So I need 186 leech juice, or L-E-E-C-H. Really don't know which way to spell it. Juice. Okay, the next one, H. Grandma has some special plant food that comes in powdered form. She uses. Final call for second best round. Final call, second best round. She uses 12 scoops of plant food to feed 16 plants. How many scoops will Grandma use if she needs to feed 28 plants? 28 plants. All right. Okay, so H, Grandma has some special plant food that comes in powder form. She uses 12 scoops of plant food to feed 16 plants. How many scoops should Grandma use if she feeds 28 plants? Okay, so if I'm looking here, I'm comparing. What am I looking at? What am I comparing? I'm comparing plant food and her plants. Okay, I know that I have 12 scoops for 16 plants. Got to figure out how many 28 plants. All right, so food. Let's set it up as food and plants. I'm going to do a table again. So I know I have 12 things of plant food for 16 plants. But I've got to get to 28. I can see I can reduce this somehow. Well, what number can both go into 12 and 16? Well, 2 can. Let's just look at 2. All right, so divide by 2, and I get 6 over 8. Can't get to 28 that way. Let's see if I can go one more time. Divide by 2 again. 6 can go into 2 3 times. 8 can go into 2 4 times. Oh, there's a math fact. 4 times 7 gives me 28. So if I do to the bottom, I must do to the top. So 3 times 7 gives me 21. So Grandma would need 21 scoops of plant food. All right, that's letter H. Letter I. So we have Georgia, Tamara, Fran, and Ursula are planning a hiking trip this summer. They estimate that in 3 hours they can cover 9 miles. If they walk the same rate, how many hours will it take them to trek 33 miles? So there's some useless information right here. So this really isn't that important. We need right here this section. So we're comparing our hours and our miles. So we're comparing hours and miles. All right, so we have 3 hours or 9 miles, but we've got to figure out what 33 miles is going to be. So I can find this as a unit rate by dividing 3 by 3 to get 1, and 9 by 3 to get 3. So they can go 1 hour, they can travel 3 miles. All right, then I've got to think to myself, well, what times 3 gives me 33? Well, that's times 11. So I times by 11 at the bottom, I times by 11 at the top. So it would take them 11 hours to travel 33 miles. Okay, my whale question. A whale travels 44 miles in 11 hours. Assuming that the whale travels at the same rate, how far will the whale travel in 6 hours? So again, we're comparing miles and hours, just like we did on our homework. So 44 miles in 11 hours. Miles always goes on top. Hours goes on the bottom. So we have 44 to 11. Now we've got to figure out 6. Well, look, I can figure out what 1 hour is going to be by dividing both of them by 11, so I can find the unit rate. 11 divided by 11 gives me 1, and 44 divided by 11 gives me 4. So that whale can travel 4 miles per hour. But I need to figure out what 6 hours is going to be. So I would take 1, multiply it by 6, and do the same to 4, multiply by 6, and they would travel 24 miles in 6 hours. Okay, I'm not going to do K because that's kind of the same. And then L is another one of the plant foods that's kind of like a repeat question, just with different numbers. So that's going to be it for today, guys. So that kind of clears everything up. Make sure that you are doing your module 7 review tonight for the Kahoot game tomorrow. And I will see you later. Bye.